You don't need to do that because people have already made up their minds about you before you explain. And what happens when you go through the trouble of explaining, putting all your business out there, and they still treat you the same way or worse? It's just not worth it. Ignited. I'm just cleaning the I forgot what these things are called that go on top of the stove. I be burning it down up in here. That mean cooking, for those of you who don't know. But have you ever experienced ill treatment because someone felt some type of way about you and it wasn't the case? Let me give you an example. Have you ever known that someone was jealous or envious of you based off what they presumed about your life and it was not true? A lot of married women know what this is about. Single women, they'll smile at you, play that whole game like they're so friendly, but in their eyes you can see it. They don't really like you. It's in their ways, subtly. Some of them, they try to be subtle with a little smooth. They treat you differently than everybody else. And it's not because you are not a good person. It's not because you're not fun, easygoing, easy to talk to. It's not because you are a busybody or someone that's running their mouth and spreading rumors. None of that. It's simply because she knows you have a husband and she's jealous of that, which says more about her than it does about you. Now, I know some of the men that listen to me, I know men follow me. You may have your own story. If you've had a dude that you've had an issue with because he felt some type of way about your career and how you're able to take care of your family and he can't, you make enough monetarily to provide for an entire family, but he's not able to do that. He has to do the whole 50-50 thing. So the 50-50 men hate on the men who can fully provide. They make little comments here and there, and you may wonder why, and it's because of that. They may never acknowledge that it's because of that jealousy and enviousness, but that's where it's coming from. It's not because the guy is a bad person or any of that. It's because of the way the man feels about himself. He directs that energy towards that man. Oh, Ignited, I just thought of something. What about those who feel some type of way about you and it doesn't have anything to do with you being married? So let me throw that in there. This isn't just specific to women who are married or men that are married and somebody feels some type of way about you, because remember, I've been in a situation where women were nice to me until they found out I was married. And I know you've dealt with that, woman or man. People were nice to you until they found out you were an entrepreneur, until they found out you are an heir, until they found out how blessed you are or who you know, the network that you're a part of. So it goes back to the whole thing. People are fine with you doing good as long as you're not doing better than them. And who's to say that you're doing better? Once again, you're not in a competition, but people are literally standing back looking at you, and they have you on some type of pedestal. They're looking at you because you have whatever, even if it's a personality trait, even if it's a character trait, they're looking at that. And based off their jealousy or enviousness that they have for you, they have put you up there and they are comparing themselves, which makes them in turn treat you negatively. I just wanted to preface that. This is the kicker right here. People hate on and they're jealous and envious of an illusion. Let me say it again. People are jealous, envious, and they hate on the illusion. Just because you may be married, they have no idea what you're dealing with. You see, as I mentioned in the last video, everybody is not on social media putting out their business. There are some people you will think that they have the happiest union, and they are literally divorced. Being cordial with one another just to have some type of normalcy in the presence of the children. But that couple is divorced. If it's not that, people just have no idea what you may be dealing with. They think that you are, what do they say? How do they say it these days? Cared for, right? I think it's called cared for. It's not provided for, but it's another term that's used these days for a woman that is provided for. If I can remember the term for it, I'll put it up here. But they sit back and assume that, and they have no idea what's going on behind closed doors, how that woman is being treated, how she is being handled, whether or not she is valued. You see, people look at what they see when it's in front of them. And if the woman is smiling and vibrant, they automatically assume she must be cared for. She must have a good man. They see the man picking up the woman from work and automatically think, oh, look at her. Automatically mad at the chick. When if you actually got to know her, this might be a woman that can actually add to your life based off who she is instead of you looking at her personal life. She may be able to tell you some things to avoid, to prevent you from being in the same circumstance that she's in. Because you're too busy hating on her, assuming what is not reality, you've missed out on an awesome opportunity. When I just went back to edit the video, I noticed that when I turned on the water, it was too loud and you guys couldn't hear what I was saying. So let me repeat it. Recently, I ran into someone, a lady, right? And I've known for a while, this lady really don't care for me. But, she played the whole game. Hey, doing all that, right? And so when we got close to each other, I extended my arm. I gave her a hug. I mean, one of them nice hugs that I normally give. And she was so stiff and withdrawn and tight. And when we moved back from each other, the way she was just looking at me, and oh my God, in her eyes, I can just see what I've always known. And trust your discernment, aka I call the discernment the third eye. Trust it. When you see something, when you feel it, when you sense it, go with that. Because what good is it gonna do you to try to ignore it, like people ignore red flags, and then you end up getting yourself burned like so many people have. They are too trusting of people. They know something in the water not clean. Females have made little sarcastic statements. You go with them on a trip and they unalive you. You go with them somewhere and they put something in your drink. And now your family members wondering what in the world happened to you. You have never been the same since you went out with these people. So when you see something, feel it, sense it, trust it. Everybody is not your friend. All right, let me go ahead and get y'all back on track. Some people try to fight it and tell their business to people. Hey, it's not what you think. I'm going through this, I'm going through that. You don't need to do that, because people have already made up their minds about you before you explain. And what happens when you go through the trouble of explaining, putting all your business out there, and they still treat you the same way or worse? It's just not worth it. Keep your relationship, your earnings, the matter of your heart and family to yourself. This is not for everybody. Some people are in 2026 where they feel like they have to tell everything, share everything. But where has that gotten you? Where has that gotten them? There is nothing you can do when someone feels some type of way about you negatively. There is no amount of explaining you can do, no amount of love bombing, trying to buy them gifts or show them you're a good person. You're just going to spin your wheels. It's a waste of time. I don't want to make that statement and say love on who love on you, because I'm just not prepared to say that. I don't believe that that's appropriate for this conversation. And of course, I'm a woman of faith, so I don't necessarily subscribe to that belief system I may have made some statements. I may have made some statements in previous videos that say, hey, get away from the people who don't want to be around you. Stop chasing those who are running away. I still do believe those statements. But I believe we have to compartmentalize and put statements where they belong. And for this, I don't believe it's appropriate to say that. Love on who love on you. Sometimes your children don't love you, but you still have to keep loving them. Sometimes your spouse don't love you. Your parents don't love you. Or the person that you know you have an assignment to deal with them in some way, shape, or form. You have to love them. It's part of the mission. It's part of the assignment. So this is why I say that particular statement is not appropriate for this. So I don't need y'all saying, but you said it last year. You said it in one of your videos and sending me the clip of it. I know what I said. I just acknowledge that I've made those statements. But even those statements don't fit every single situation. Cut people off because they treat you wrong. It still don't fit every situation, although I said it. So you have to learn how to move and make statements and take on these belief systems based off what's best at that time. But don't go trying to overcompensate for people when you know, you sense it, you can see it, and based off their actions, they don't care for you. Let it go. And at this moment, I'm not talking about your spouse. I'm not talking about your children or those who are assigned to you. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about these people who are jealous of you, envious of you. They're doing things to try to trap you, to try to destroy you, or it's just this cringing feeling that's around whenever they come around. There's a reason why you feel that, and that the Spirit alerted you to that. We have to listen to it. You have to listen. And I just mentioned your spouse, your children, and those who you are assigned to. But even with those, always keep your discernment on, because you have family members who are unaliving family members. So it may be a point where you may have to say goodbye to a family member or your grown-up child because for whatever reason. This is why I say make sure it's based off your particular situation. Don't just go making statements and living by belief systems that are not appropriate for that time. This is why your relationship with God is so important, because the Holy Spirit will lead you into what move you should make for every single person that's in your life. May this video ignite you in some way, shape, or form.